The first time I remember like choosing to go to church was after I met Samara. It was offered to us that we could go on Easter, and I was like, I don't know about church, especially because now I'm like in an openly gay relationship, and I was like, are we allowed to go to church? Because everything I've ever heard is like, we're not really allowed to go. So after going to church with her family and like getting to know her family and like hearing about God in such a really positive light, I was like, maybe I do want to go to church. Let's try it out. They seemed very open and accepting on the outside. We made friends there. The campus pastor there like knew us and would like ask about when we were going to get engaged and like ask about stuff like that. And so we were like, oh my God, they're totally fine with us here. Like, this is amazing. One day I was serving, and I remember seeing like on the back end a slide come up on the screen talking about like transgender people, and it didn't actually get used in church that day, but I saw it on the other end and I was like, this is weird. And before I could have a conversation with him, our pastor stood on stage and talked about how they are stealing the rainbow and they are corrupting our kids, and it was a lot of like they. And the hardest part about it was when he was up there and he was like saying all those things, and he had everybody in the crowd stood up and clapped. And I was just like, wait, I thought these people were my friends. Like, I know these people. Like, I was like, all right, that was the bait and switch, and they don't actually like us here. And I never went back. I was very hurt by that. And it took me a really long time to feel even like comfortable like talking to God again. So I stopped really praying. I didn't really read my Bible. I really slowed down on all of that, almost completely stopped. It took a really long time for me to like even want to go back to church until Samara found The Well on TikTok, and it took her about 6 months to convince me to want to go. I had a really solid wall built up around all of that. I did not want to let any of that back in because it was very traumatic the way that it all ended for me. When we walked in holding hands, and every single person on the way to find a seat said hello to us, asked us our name, like wanted to know how we found the well, like full conversations with almost every single person we ran into trying to find a seat. I was like, okay, I kind of let my guard down a little bit. But then we left, and I remember looking at her and being like, oh, we could go back. I like that. Like, I liked the people there, and that's what made church comfortable for me. It just felt different. In being at the Well and like growing and going through like every Sunday for almost a year now, it doesn't feel wrong anymore. And so that has kind of opened me up to be able to have a deeper, more meaningful relationship with God, because I don't feel like I'm like trying to hide this little piece that's like, I know this is wrong, but you love me with everything else, right? Like, I don't feel that like guilt or shame anymore around that. It has become like a whole new life. It has become more than I ever expected it to be. Finding, like slowly coming to that and finding a church where I feel 100% like I am included in everything. I can do anything I want and not have that little bit of fear like the other shoe is gonna drop. Like, I feel 100% loved by the people around me and this community, and it's just bigger than I ever expected it to be. It's better than I thought it would be, and it's just more now than before.